Hello, I am Elmer Joseph Alcoreza, and today we're going to talk about why the future is green and not dim.
Green, green, green. Everything is green. This is the environment in the province, a far reality from a city. Everywhere you look, it is green. The plants, the trees, and also some houses are green. To define this scientifically, all of the plants and trees we see here belong into a flora. Oxford Languages define flora as the plants of a particular region, habitat, or geological period. In other terms, flora is the plant life in a specific place and time. Flora is part of something we call as biogeochemical cycle. What a wordy word, huh? So what is biogeochemical cycle? According to biojuice.com, bio means biosphere, or in other terms, life. Geo means the geological components, or in other terms, land. Chemical means the elements that move through a cycle. In simpler terms, biogeochemical cycle keeps us alive. So there are 7 types of biogeochemical cycle. For water, there is the water cycle. For air, the oxygen cycle. For land, the sedimentary and phosphorus cycle. For fauna, the carbon cycle. And for flora, the one we are focusing about, there is the nitrogen and sulfur cycle. So flora is concerned about nitrogen and sulfur. But what about them? Sulfur is known as the 4th major crop nutrient. It increases crop yield and it is essential for protein synthesis. Similar to sulfur, nitrogen is essential for the growth of plants. Both sulfur and nitrogen are used in fertilizers. Without them, the leaves of the plants would turn to pale yellow or light green. Adding more to that, nitrogen is one of the nutrients that causes eutrophication. So eutrophication is a word for excessive plant and algae growth. Basically, it means that adding too much nitrogen can cause too much plant growth, which is or can be unpredictable, and it can disrupt other systems. For instance, if there is too much nitrogen in freshwater ecosystem, it can boost the algae to grow and fill the whole body of water. Why is this bad? The excess algae and plants would eventually decompose, which will produce lots of carbon dioxide, which will lower the pH level of seawater, also known as the acidification, and which will also eventually deplete the oxygen. Oxygen, which is vital for fishes and aquatic animals. So eutrophication can cause the death of many animals. So what causes eutrophication? It is too much nitrogen. So that is one example of the negative effects of human misuse of fertilizers. The human activities that threaten the environment are called anthropogenic effects. From the Greek etymology, anthropo means humanity, and genic means creation. So combined, they are the human activities that harm the environment. There is what we call Le Chatelier's principle. In simple words, it states, if a stress is placed on a system which is at equilibrium, the system will shift in such a way to relieve that stress. So before him, there was Fritz Haber, who found a way to put the nitrogen in the air into the ground. Then, Henry Le Chatelier found a way to quickly make ammonia. Their invention and discoveries paved the way for the commercial ammonia production we have now, which is used greatly in fertilizers, while a few percentage is used for industrial and household cleaners. However, recent studies have found that cleaning products containing ammonia is a volatile chemical compound, which is toxic to the human health and also to the environment. In other words, this is an example of another anthropogenic effects in flora or in plant life.
In all that we've talked about, the environment is being damaged. And there is one cause for all of it: anthropogenic effects. The human activities that contribute to the degradation and harm to our environment. So let us care for our environment. Let us prefer and use organic rather than synthetic. Let us reuse things that can be reused and recycle things that can be recycled. In other words, let us reduce our waste. Because remember, the future is green and not dim. Thank you. God bless.